Whew. Okay, so for this next part, we're about to get started. I'm going to invite you to sit or lie, kind of like if we were about to do a session. And we're going to focus on the ceremony and the clearing work. And if you're feeling great, I would recommend that you sit. And it's almost like you could imagine that there's a circle and we're sitting in a circle. And if you're feeling really great, then sit facing outwards because we're going to send the codes that are integrating into the collective grid. So if you're feeling really peaceful and delighted and just good, then sit and envision that you're sitting in the circle facing outwards. And if you feel like you still got some clearing to do, then actually sit inside the circle and you can lie down. And you can receive the healing frequencies and continue to do this medicine work. Okay? If you have any questions about that, just comment just to make sure that I was clear. Whew. Okay. And understand that there's nothing for the mind to be doing. There's nothing that the mind can do. We're not doing anything. We're actually just shedding. We're allowing things that don't belong to fall away. So the more we can get out of our head about it, the easier it's going to happen. Hi. Yes, you're handsome, Mr. Jewers. You're so handsome. Okay. Whew. So I feel like we're coming into another layer of lucidity together here today, where we're recognizing that the false matrix that is, at this moment crumbling, it was really operating from the distortions that we carry inside. So the false matrix could only exist if it somehow convinced humanity that we are not the incredible infinite creator beings that we are, right? How do you convince a bunch of sovereign creator beings to work in an office forever without first tricking them into believing there's something else? So now that we understand that, that we can kind of create some space between, create some space between that part of us that was tricked and this true part of us that, is in resonance with nature, is in reverence of life. And we can allow that feeling to almost open up this stargate of energy to allow the divine energy to come in and flush our body. And it's that energy which washes away these distortions and false beliefs. Whew. And actually, it's not so much about actively psychically surgery removing those things which aren't in alignment, but about how wide you can open your energy field to allow this cosmic energy to come in, because that energy will wash these things away. These implants and distortions, they cannot exist in the original divine frequency of the reality. So if you can open up your energy field and just focus on that connection, with nature, with the divine, with life, with the truth that you are all of those things. You are the divine magnificence of all that is. If you can anchor and click into that knowing and open up the field to allow this cosmic energy through, then it will knock things out like a tidal wave. It will just wash things away. Whew. So we're breathing into the body, feeling into if there's any places there are tension or pain, in harmony. We're just breathing into our heart. I can already feel that some of your parts are wanting to fall asleep. Um, if you're falling asleep, I would recommend that you sit up. Just so those parts can receive and access these frequencies in consciousness. Okay, in source of creation, we are commanding that all vibrations not of love, not of our own soul's essence, are being cleared and taken from our bodies and fields, from all dimensions and all of time space, returning to source to be reconfigured into the light. Opening up, making space for this original template of being to anchor some layers deeper into our bodies and field. And clear. Sourcing all places of implantation and distortion in the multidimensional body. Not necessarily reacting to anything, just a light awareness. Just a light awareness as we allow our awareness to communicate with the space, with the medicine that is here, and just to allow the healing energies to pull those distortions out of the body. Whew. Nice and easy. There's no struggle. Okay, it's a source of creation. We're commanding for a sourcing of all geometries and residue template energy of all resonance related to unworthiness, disappointment, shame, the causes of perfectionism. We're commanding access to all layers of our energy body and our physical body and our genetics, which might still carry residue of self-loathing, self-harm, self-doubt. And again, we're just coming into light awareness of where those places are. not necessarily to respond or attach to it, not necessarily to be afraid or oppressed by it, but just to become aware. Whew. Allowing this energy to penetrate through all layers of our body and mind and energy body, to repair and clear those residues and templates and geometries with ease and grace. Reaching in to find any inner children who might have felt unvalidated, unseen, disencouraged. And realize that we're in a very special kind of portal right now where it feels like a lot of transformation and shift can happen very quickly. It feels like there's some sort of energy that's available right now for swift transformation, right? We feel this energy present in our collective as well, but in our personal life. Like, even if something we have been fighting or trying to heal for years, just open to the possibility that this might be a window of time when that is possible. And that maybe it doesn't have to be difficult or hard. Maybe it doesn't have to be a struggle. Maybe all it takes is a shift of our angle of perception. Maybe a jump into a frequency of being where we're accessing more of the truth of our divine creatorship. And how in that place, maybe it's just very easy to allow things to fall off of you. Ooh. Tuning into our inner children in our lower belly. Any part of ourselves that felt misunderstood, unrecognized. Notice how powerful a shift can be when we begin to acknowledge and recognize the incredible creativity of all that is. Because when we feel that level of awe and appreciation for what's outside of us, we begin to gain access to that level of appreciation for ourselves. We're coming into lucid seeing that it is these viruses of self-degradation and self-harm and self-loathing and self-doubt. It's these viruses that were created to keep humanity enslaved. And that when we have this level of lucidity, we can realize that anytime we feel that way, it's not us that's feeling it. We can recognize that that's part of the false matrix and switch our frequency of perception through accessing our appreciation for life. Candace says, I open to the full support of Source. More and more, I soften, ripen, and open. Yes. Oh. Okay, so we're sending this shedding almost like a vaccine or an antiviral out into the collective consciousness through the ley lines, through your own energy body, just shooting it out to your neighbors, to the people in your town and your city and your country. Oh, this key, this very simple key of recognizing and appreciating the sacredness of all of life. Big wave coming in. Beautiful. if you're feeling any fear of just letting go, of totally surrendering to the energy, if you're feeling any fear, like you don't know what's going to happen to you afterwards, know that that's actually not your thought. That could be actually what the implant or the entities are feeling. So logically, we understand that we're held in this space. We love each other very much, and you're safe in your space. Oh, you're held. You're woven into the tapestry of our forest. You're held in the embrace of the divine. And that beyond the surrendering, beyond the letting go, is actually just infinite freedom to be free from all oppression and rigidness and constriction. Oh, so we can just release. Oh, yeah. No fear. If it helps you to move this energy by toning right now or by moving right now, you are absolutely welcome to do what feels natural to you. If it feels like you're trying, then go back to being still. Tuning into the body consciousness. Allowing the body, somatic, elemental, physical, mammalian body, our soft and delightful, precious body. Allowing the body to receive these nourishing, cleansing frequencies. Feel gratitude for all the processes that are occurring so that we can experience and witness the beauty of this world. Let the body know that she is so perfect. Now we're so sorry that we ever judged her for how she looked, or allowed other people to objectify how she looks. And in this moment, allowing all of those tensions and judgments to just fall off of your body, wherever they are kept the shoulders, and the belly, and the hips, and the fingers, and the knees, wherever this pain is kept. Allow the body to release. In this moment, as we recognize her perfection, her miracle, allowing the body to feel safe to be herself. Let the body know that we recognize her for the beautiful emanation of the divine that she is. Release any restrictions you might be feeling in our lower body, any separation that we might feel between our awareness and our sexual organs, releasing any shame, any oppression, any fear that is here. Okay, we're connecting our awareness of our sacredness, of our innocence, allowing energy to flow freely from our womb and our pubic bones and our hip bones and our vulva, our ovaries and the uterus, acknowledging and recognizing the beauty of these organs. Allow any beliefs that these organs cause us pain to go. Connecting in with our solar plexus, the light of the sun, the light of our joy, the light of our embodied divinity.
Allowing any anger we might be fostering for the opposite sex, the male collective, to dissolve into forgiveness and compassion, especially the male energies which are still in our womb, in our vaginal canal, in our cervix. Allowing this tidal wave of energy, of water, to flow through the body, washing out all energies which are no longer serving, no longer resonant. Allow that energy to return to the people that they belong to. And if there is any hurt or any resentment or any pain that's related to that energy, just allow it to move through in forgiveness and compassion, in our lucid understanding that those people were acting inside of slavery, enslaved by their own false matrix programming. That as we send their energy back to them, we carry or coat this knowing in with that energy so that when they reintegrate that energy, maybe they will embark on their healing journey. But that is no longer for us to carry. This doesn't have to be just energy of people that you've had intercourse with. It could be the energy of family members that we're carrying. You know, when we want our family to wake up and we want them to heal, we might carry their energy inside of us. So again, with the same way, we are releasing all foreign energies that are not of our own soul's essence. And as that energy gets washed out of our body, carry with it the codes to initiate a self-healing process, to find the guidance and the healing that they need. Trust that their higher self and this energy will land in them if this is what their soul desires, and that we are no longer carrying those timelines. Allowing that tension to fall out of the hips. Hips which carry life itself. Give yourself the recognition that you deserve for all of that healing and life that you are carrying. Washing it clean. Visualize that you are sitting under a small waterfall, maybe inside of a cove, just by the waterfall, as the water falls down over our head, down our body, washing away all debris. Open up the feet portals, allow this energy to flow all the way through you. Open up the cervix, and releasing any pain, any sadness, any anger, any energies which do not belong to you.
So as we allow that lucidity that we gained to really settle and land in our body, it's almost like this shortcut where now whenever you feel some level of insecurity peeking in, or not sure if you will allow yourself to be yourself or to express yourself, just tune into this frequency of remembrance that any belief that you're any less than perfect, any less than all deserving, any less than a perfect reflection of the magnificence of all of creation are merely lies and programs. And that we can then retune and settle and sink into our connection with all of life and be invigorated by that truth. That we are a living embodiment of the divine creation of all that is. And that actually the expression and the embodiment of this vibration is the antidote to the great medicine. And so who cares what people who are under the influence of the archonic grid thinks, right? They have never experienced this level of integrated divine self-love that you become a beacon of. And in this organic, authentic frequency of divine love, it is welcoming, it is beautiful, it is in resonance with nature, it is non-judgmental, it is non-hierarchical. This frequency of organic living creation is something that everyone is hungry for. And when you have embodied this energy, you become the source of the sun for our collective, for our tribe, for our planet. And there's nothing to do but to bask in the delight of your part in creation. In this place, there's no striving, there's no trying, there's no doing. In this place, integrated, organic, divine love, there is inspiration and flow and infinite creativity. And we can begin to see how the anchoring of this energy in all fields of our own body is kind of the process or the antidote, the answer for the questions that we might have about our next steps, about our role. Any creation that comes from this vibration is supported by all of nature. And with that, closing the medicine space for the day. But of course, this energy is always accessible because it is you and it is what makes up the fabric of reality.